Hello everybody, happy Mask Monday. How you doing? Look what I'm going to use today. Yeah, I'm going to be using two masks. First, I'm going to use my Omnilux contour face mask. This has a bunch of lights on the back side. It's easy to put on, and I thought I would do this today because of my jowls that are sagging. And I had used this. I got it in 2021. I used it for 2 years straight, about every 3 days or 3 days a week. And it worked really good. It performed well. It brightened my skin. It really did a lot. And then, of course, like with anything else, I got lackadaisical with it. Well, I'm getting back on track. I got my walk in today for 20 minutes, and I'm now trying to walk 20 minutes after each meal. I don't know if I'll make each of those goals each day, but I do my best, and I'm doing squats to strengthen my legs and my hip. I have the one leg that's low bone density, so I'm working on that, taking my calcium, magnesium, and all that good stuff. And so I'm also going to just toss in caring for my skin, which I always do, but I'm adding a bonus into this. And how was your weekend? Did y'all have fun over the Friday night games and trick-or-treating? Did everybody get a lot of goodies? And if you were like me, you just stayed home and it was kind of a quiet night. And that's how it was for us. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on while we're talking because it's going to light up the screen. And hopefully you can still hear me talking. It's easy to put on until I try to do it on camera. Once you get that through there, you pull it tight and around, and it's got Velcro on it, and it just saves. Now, you're wondering, what does red light therapy do? Well, it tightens up your skin. It brightens your skin. It prepares your skin for collagen. So, like, it'll help build your collagen, and it just does a lot. It also helps with your, with your feel-good hormones, like your serotonin and stuff. So it does a lot. And I got the Omnilux. It is a little pricey, but it had the most studies done behind it for working. And I didn't want to spend $200 and not get any results, so I spent more to get the results. And I do have 3 videos, maybe 4, out on it, from 4 years ago, whenever that was, when I first tested it, and I got before and after if you want to go back and look at those. And I would say that would have been in 21, 22, somewhere in there. But anyways, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to start to glow. See, I look like an alien, but it's going to go for 15 minutes. It's automatically timed, and I just charged it up, so I have plenty of charge on there. And I did this Saturday, so this is my every other day that I'm going to be doing my Omnilux red light therapy. Now, I do use red light therapy, like in the morning. I have a stand that has red light therapy, and that gives me my red light that I need in the morning to keep my circadian rhythm going. So I've done that for a long time, and I've kept that up. But I have friend mail today. I have winners to announce, and we have beauty inside and out with Bessie Hicks. And if you want to stay for that, I'll have that toward the end. But right now, I'm going to also tell you, when I finish this mask, you're supposed to hydrate. So I'm going to use the Dr. Jart Vita Hydra Solution Pro. And this is going to plump and glow replacement and moisture, which I felt a little dry. So I thought this would be a good thing for that. If you have questions on the Omnilux and or other red light therapies, let me know. Like I said, this is the one that I purchased. I have gotten others sent to me, and I haven't used them. Well, I used one of them kind of long. Well, anyways, that's another story. Okay, did you see my video yesterday of my dream, of what I thought it meant and how I've been changing things? It was definitely a change of direction in my life, and a more fulfilling direction, I believe. But if you want to see that, it came out yesterday, and it's part 2 of my dream, and then a glimpse of the dream vision in total when I read it out. That's on part 1, and that was a week ago Sunday, so you could go back and look at that. I think it was titled A Glimpse Beyond. So anyways, let's get to the friend mail real quick. I have several postcards from Plush Bat Fan, Dream Big Productions Plush Bat Fan. He has Hello Kitty on his channel, and they're little short videos, 3 to 5 minutes, and they're educational, great for children and grandkids, great for anyone that wants to, see Hello Kitty. If you're a fan like me, you might enjoy those very much, and just go over, say hello, and subscribe. It's free, and let him know Miss Jackie sent you over. But here we have Wealth is Happiness and Freedom. And I will have to say that's one thing that wealth is. And you do know the verse says, the love of money is the root of all evil, not the money is the root of all evil. So you can be wealthy with your health and with things in life and be happy. There's nothing wrong with that. And you do have lots of freedom if you have wealth. I mean, even in your health, if you have a wealth of health, you can move about and do a lot more. But anyways, we got this postcard, and I don't know how to speak Russian, so I'm not even going to try. But it's Soviet space dogs, and I'm doing these in the order that I received them. So that's like a little rocket, I guess, going up in space with dogs. And then he sent me little space dogs, and he did write me a note on this one, translated from Russian. Their names are Belka and Strelka. Here's another dog themed postcard for yours to keep as a souvenir from Plush Bat Fan. And they look like little Jack Russells to me, but I don't know if that's what they are or not, but that's what it looks like to me. They're smart enough to probably go in space. They have the intelligence of a 2- and 3-year-old child. All right, here we have Soviet space dogs. And again, I'm not going to pronounce the Russian because I don't know it. But there looks like they're, I don't know where they're at, in between Earth and the Moon there. Nice little card. Then he sent me some cards of just some dogs, and this is probably an antique card of some sort because he does seem to send me retro postcards. So we've got some dogs here. I think one's a bloodhound. I'm not sure what the others are. Some of you may know that smaller one down there could be a Jack Russell, a long coat Jack Russell. All right, and here we have little Dachshunds. Now, aren't they just so cute? I just love them. They're so cute. We used to have a red one, Snuggles, that looks like that. Now we have a little red brownish one that's Waffles. And then our hot dog looked like those black and tan ones. He was so cute. Such a good dog. And then my last card I have from him is for sure looking like a Jack Russell. And it's the Soviet space dogs. And again, with those words, I don't know what those words are. But those are so cute. Thank you, Plush Bat Fan. We're getting a new set of cards for my collection, and I appreciate it. And again, if you don't know Plush Bat Fan, go over and check him out and tell him Miss Jackie said hello. Now we're going to go on with the winners. And I've got them in this little thing here, and I don't even have them in the order. But we have week 1, 2, and 3. Let me get these out of here. There's 1. We have 4, and I actually pulled 5 winners. Yep, I did. I decided to have another bonus. Now, how I did the bonus picking for the Jubilee is I drawed everyone out for the first 4 weeks. The individual videos for that week, put them in my little bowl, and then I drew one. And then at the end, I kept these separate, and I put all the other weeks back in my bowl and stirred them around, and I drew out a video for the bonus. So that's how I did the bonus. And we'll make these announcements real quick. Now, you do have to be 18 years or older, have an address within the continental USA. YouTube and anything that I've shown product-wise, brand-wise, are not affiliated. And you must be publicly subscribed, and you must use the pumpkin or the cat in your video or in your comment in a sentence. So with that said, on week 1, October 3rd was the one that was picked, and that was the FabFitFun $5. And I picked that one, and then when I did the winner for week 1, we have 42 comments, and the winner is Debbie Lowry, and that'll be going across there as well. I used the comment picker. And then we had week number 2 was October 13th, Mass Monday, and we had 41 comments. And week 2, congratulations to Kim Gabbert. And I'm so happy for each and every one of you, and I thank y'all for being a part of my channel. And week number 3, I drew October 22nd, FabFitFun, huge edit sale. And that was the completion of that sale, I believe. And I had 43 comments. And the winner for week 3 is Tracy No LMT. Congratulations, Tracy. And then week number 4, we had October 26th, Glimpse Beyond in my dream that I did the first week. And that was week 4, and there was 37 comments, and the winner is C Bond 2229. Congratulations to each one of you, and I had those winners running across there. So I don't know if you all seen all the little tabs or not. But now, the bonus winner, I put everything back in except for those 4 winning videos, and it chose, and when I drew, I chose October 20th, which was week 3. It was a Mass Monday, and the bonus winner is Diana S. 247, and that'll be a mystery package put together. So each of you have 48 hours to contact me. Let me know your address and confirm that you've seen this part of the video. And I want to congratulate all the winners. Thank you all. I can't believe we're in November. In November, we're going to use a turkey emoji and an orange heart, I think. And if I've said pumpkin, I don't mean pumpkin, I mean an orange heart. Because we're kind of past that as far as, we're not past pumpkins, but it seems like most of the pumpkins that I could find emoji were like little lanterns, jack-o'-lanterns. So we're out of that season. So we're going to use the orange heart. And that's been 15 minutes. And I'm going to take this mask off. And I do want to show y'all how it did. Now you can see I've got a little redness, which that is not abnormal. It's not hot. So, but it seems like I'm a little flushed, and that's normal. And this has, great potential to help me with my jowls. Now I do have the décolleté that goes around, I think it goes around your neck right here and down, but I can't put that on my psoriasis. So when I use that, I just cover this, and then I have a shirt on, and I guess you could say the light's being wasted a little bit. But anyways, I do have that as well. Now I'm going to put on the Dr. Jart, because you cleanse your skin, then you use the red light therapy, and then you put on your serums. And this is going to have a hydrating serum. So we're going to put this on real quick, and then we will move on to our Bessie Hicks. That'll be our next thing. So if you have watched this and you want to continue, I hope you'll be with me. I am going to talk about a little jar that just Janet sent me, and she sent this to me, I don't remember if it was last year for Christmas or for sure what the occasion was, but she sent this out to several of us, and I was one of them. And I know some of the other ones have already shared it, and I shared that I got it, but I'll tell you more in just a minute. Let me get this mask on. The Dr. Jart mask is very good. I got this through FabFitFun. I probably had to pay $5 for this one mask. No, you know what? I bought a box of them and got a whole box. So, but they still are expensive masks, I will say that. But they're very effective. So now we're going to let my face calm down a little bit. We're going to have the serum on there, and we're going to get hydrated. And that's what I needed but I wanted to do my red light therapy as well. Okay, now the gift that Janet had sent me can be a gift for all of us, and it was read me when, and you've got frustrated, anxious, happy, and you've got troubled, sad, and grateful. And I had opened this up, and I think I shared a blue one with you for when you're sad. So I'm going to read this to you, and this is what it says. It says, "Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes with the morning." Psalms 35, for an encouragement if you're sad. And you can feel sad, that's normal, and God comforts you. So His Word even tells you that joy can come in the morning. So be looking for it. So I just thought I would share that. I want to thank Janet again for sending it over. And I'm going to try to share one once a week. And before we go into the Beauty Inside Out. And this is by Bessie Hicks. And we are starting the Exfoliate. That's what we're on this week. And she's got Mary Forrest on here, so I'm thinking that's someone that might have helped her with this Exfoliate Day 3. And that's what we're on, and it says, exfoliation is one of the many processes we go through to prepare our skin and to keep it looking best. To exfoliate literally means to remove the surface or to come apart. When we exfoliate our skin, we scrub with something rough to remove layers of dead skin and oil and dirt that have been built up. What we have left is the bright, clean, and shiny raw surface that was hidden underneath it, and now it's been made ready or prepared for whatever process is coming next. And you all know that. We use different things. You know, some of you may use AHA pads, some of you may use like an actual little scrub that has like little particles. I don't know what they use in it for the scrub. Some of them have sugar scrubs. You just want to be careful though not to use anything rough on your skin. Make sure it's made for your face if you're exfoliating that way with your face. Anyways, let's face it, scrubbing off flesh doesn't sound enjoyable, no matter how good the results will be. And yet, even through crucifying or getting rid of the flesh is not fun. It's absolutely necessary. The Apostle Paul explains this in Galatians 2:20. "I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live. Yet not I, but Christ liveth in me." And that's the King James Version. It says Jesus himself didn't want to face crucifixion, but the benefits of his obedience are endless, as are the benefits that we receive by crucifying our flesh. Some beauty processes are certainly more enjoyable than others. Yesterday's soak was relaxing and refreshing. We need the soak to soften the skin. Think about when you get a manicure or pedicure, before they start removing the dead skin, they soak it. Taking the time to soak in his presence will soften up our flesh and make it a lot easier to exfoliate. Exfoliating is for our own good. He must increase, but I must decrease. And that's John 3:30, and that reminds me of this song, "All of Self and None of Thee." And I don't have it here in front of me, but it's talking about the first verse is everything's all about me, me, me. And then the next verse is some of me, some of you. And then the next one's less of me, more of you. And then the last one is all of thee and none of me. It's a really cool song. Let me know if you've heard of it. It's called All of Self and None of Thee. Anyways, Beauty Insider tip number 1 is exfoliating prevents breakouts. One of the greatest benefits of exfoliating is that it prevents breakouts. When dead skin builds up on the surface of our skin, it clogs our pores, causes acne, which I've had before, and who wouldn't want to prevent that? The first thing someone sees when they look at you is your face. I don't know of anyone who would choose to be seen with an inflamed, bumpy face. Sometimes we try to cover it up, these breakouts, which usually ends up making them appear worse instead of better. And back in my younger days, I would say in my early 20s, I was a Lady Love representative. And as I got toward my 30s, I started getting what they call adult acne. And it was so embarrassing to have this acne all over me and then be going to people and, talking to them about beautiful skin. And mine was really getting really bad. I ended up having to go to a dermatologist because mine was adult acne that was coming from within. So they had to put me on Minocin, which is a type of tetracycline on the inside internally to clear it up, because it was kind of like an infection and it was coming out on my face. But anyway, as women of God, we ought to show a bright, healthy face that's gleaming for Jesus. But if we're honest, we all sometimes show that we have not learned how to control our breakouts. And I can kind of relate to that. And I want to go back to the acne thing. If you are an adult and you're having really bad acne, like nodule type acne, seek a dermatologist, because you will probably need medication in order to treat it. I just want to make that comment. Sometimes you have a breakout, it's just a little thing here and there that happens. But if you're having cyst nodules on your face, you need to seek medical care. All right. Now, on to this. It says maybe we show it in the way we speak or answer someone, or in our attitudes toward the other one. Whatever it is that causes us to personally struggle in Christ, we don't have to find a way to cover up our ugly flesh. With His help, we can learn to keep our flesh under control. We can scrub away the dead things that need not to be there, leaving us to be a witness to all those around us. One way God helps us exfoliate is by using other people. Have you ever had someone that rubbed you the wrong way? Oh, yeah. Of course you have. All of us have people in our lives who irritate our flesh. We like to call her a sister sandpaper. You know who I'm talking about. It's as if she's on a mission to aggravate you, but no matter how much your flesh dislikes her, your spirit should love her, because she's helping you exfoliate. Now that's tip number 1, and I've never looked at it like that, about someone coming into my life and actually helping me to be a better Christian, exfoliating my flesh, so to speak, to get rid of something that's, not so pretty on me, so to speak, because of my attitude. And something else that comes out to me is like, what did it say? We like to call her Sister Sandpaper. What a name. But, sometimes we do have someone in our lives that's just irritating us. And, I have a couple like that, not necessarily from church or whatever, but just people that I know, and I have to ask for forgiveness, because they're upsetting me, and I shouldn't be letting them upset me. I should be forgiving and have more of an open mind toward maybe what they're going through. And I guess that's a part of exfoliation, getting rid of that. And it's hard sometimes when you've had someone be, like not a good thing, like they were not doing good things and it was hurting you in one way or another. And it's very hard to forgive people when it's directly affecting you and it's just wrong. But at the same time, God asks us to forgive. And, I don't know if it was Peter or Paul or which apostle, but he asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive? 7? And Jesus said 7 times 77. That's a lot of forgiving going on. And that's something that we, all probably struggle with. But it is better to forgive and let it go and ask for prayers for that person and for yourself, because you're both having to deal with it. So I kind of look at that scrub in that way. You're exfoliating, but it's more about exfoliating yourself so that you can shine, so that you can receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and also so that you can help others that may be seeking the Lord. So anyways, that's tip number 1, and next week we'll be going to Beauty Insider tip number 2, which is we can age gracefully. And that is so true. We certainly can. And I'm trying to see how long this has been on. This has probably been on about not 15 minutes, but it's been on there close. I'm going to pause for just a minute and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I've had this on about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. And it was a very good moisturizing mask, and I needed that. I needed that so much. And I forgot to tell you that I did bring in a lip gloss, and this is from Prime Lip Gloss, Prime Prometics, and this is a lip gloss that plumps with capsaicin pepper or oil, and so it doesn't burn, and it has hyaluronic acid and other nutrients for mature lips. And you know, it just kind of plumps it up a little bit. It's mostly for the nutrients, I think. And just like this mask, I would recommend this mask. That's why I bought a whole box. Dr. Jart is a good, reliable mask, a clean mask, and it is Korean. And it's very good. And I'm going to start redoing my face, so to speak, with my Omnilux mask. And we'll see how it works on my fine lines and my jowls that are starting to want to sag. Because you know, when you lose estrogen, and I know I'm 65, but I must just be now losing estrogen in a bigger quantity amount, that it's causing this. And I've noticed this over the last year or so, and I thought, you got to quit ignoring it, girl, and you got to do something about it. And you've got something here that you can use. And I bought that for my birthday in 2021. I spent that money on myself, but it was to help myself and to, of course, glow and to reduce the wrinkles. But it was something I really wanted, so I spent the money. And I'm not saying it's something that you would want to do, but I did buy it because it was also the #1 same red light therapy that you get in the offices of a dermatologist, and it was proven. So that was very important to me. But now on the market there's so many, and I've introduced some others, and I may switch out and try out some different masks. And what is this, November 3rd? Maybe after a month or so I'll do this again next month, and we'll see how it's worked, if at all, in 30 days of using it at least 15 minutes 3 times a day. But I want to thank Plush Bat Fan again for sending me all the postcards. Thank you very much. This is an interesting series that you got going on with the Soviet dogs and going into space. And then I want to congratulate each and every winner. Congratulations, yay! And again, you have 48 hours to contact me at missjackierussell@yahoo.com. And then again, I really enjoyed our Beauty Inside Out, and I hope you did too. And let's exfoliate the flesh and exfoliate the spirit, that we may be prepared for when the Lord has something good for us, and be forgiving as well as receiving. So guys, that's my Mask Monday today. I hope you all have a great week, and as usual, I wish you all a blessed and happy day. Bye-bye.